Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. This video is going to be a bit of a flashback video. It is an excerpt from a previous video of mine that I recorded several years ago, maybe 2 years ago. Is that several? No, that's a couple. Not that any of that just mattered. It was one of my videos on states of consciousness, and I think it serves as a really good reminder. It is not the entirety of the video. It's only a portion of which someone timestamped. Someone recently placed a comment on there and they timestamped it, and I'm in total agreement with that person. It was a perfect spot. And that is something I do want to say that, listen, if you are watching any of my content, I don't care how recent or how old, please feel free to leave comments in places that you think are helpful, especially to other people, because I might just snatch it and place it in a video in and of itself because it's helpful and you're helping other people. I'm just saying. So I want y'all to feel free. I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Please feel free to leave timestamps on videos and places that you got a judge from or you think is helpful, because I do pay attention to them. I do check them. I can't write back to every single comment I get, but you can trust I am reading them. And the timestamp ones, I always click that timestamp and check and see what it is, what portion of the video. And that one stood out to me. So I'm like, yep, I'm snatching that bitch. And we're going to have a reminder, because I do know I have well over 1,200 videos and other postings on my channel. And I'm sure until we officially have the other playlists available to be seen, and the channel really organized, I know it can be overwhelming to go through. That's a lot of content. I know it is. I made it all. So when we see things that are helpful, I want to be able to share that with other people. Meaning, so if you come to my channel for the first time, you're probably overwhelmed and you're probably not wanting to scroll all the way back to some older videos. So those timestamps are helping other people simply just for that reason, so they don't have to surf back, because I might just clip it and put it in like we're doing today. Okay, so I'm taking way too much time talking about that. So that is what we are doing today. We're having a little flashback. So if you would like a little re-zhuzh reminder around states of consciousness, then please continue watching. I think you're going to enjoy this, and I think you're going to enjoy it for one additional reason. I am hoping that you will notice in the physical transformation of myself what I looked like 2 years ago. I mean, my fingernails were snatched in that video. I'm just saying, snatched. It's probably one of my most favorite colors, but that's not about manifesting. But I'm hoping you will see my own manifestation unfolding right in front of your eyes. The difference in my appearance from a few years back. On top of that, video was recorded around when I chipped my front tooth. So that is definitely going to be something you notice. But I don't care. I didn't care. I mean, I cared that I chipped it. I just don't care that it's in the video. So please sit back and enjoy yourself, and let's go down memory lane together. If you would like to work with me in any way, shape, or form, all of that information is in the drop box below, including all of my channel memberships. Highly encourage you to join the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors group. Highly encourage you to. It gives you access to all the channel memberships. Just saying. And all the missed sessions, the recordings. You'll have access to that too. Highly encourage you to do that. Also, because today is Tuesday, and I'm assuming this video is going up today, we go live together today. Those channel memberships, the Advanced Manifestors and the exclusive lives, we go live together later on this evening. So I think today's a perfect day for you to join. You can hang out with us tonight and be comfy, be relaxed, because that's how these meetings are. Very, very chill. You're like hanging out in my living room. Okay. You don't have to get on camera. You don't have to talk if you do not want to, but just hang out with us. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Put a shut up and let's talk about states of consciousness. It clicked with me that is an issue. We do not have to seek perfection or to fix things about us to manifest. And that's unfortunately how a lot of manifestation is being taught from that perspective. I want you to tell yourself that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to worry when you fall into a shittier state. That it's just a part of your experience and that you know you will shift back to a more beneficial state. And that the freedom of that belief in itself will keep you in a beneficial state. Meaning, when you stop allowing fearful, negative thoughts control you and you begin the belief of, I don't have to worry about negative thoughts. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's not going to manifest. I don't have to worry about being perfect. I don't have to do any of that. I can still get what I want. It's easy for me to manifest. It's easy for me to maintain a beneficial state. I can't mess this up. When you really start accepting those phrases as your truth, you are creating a beneficial state. You are creating a state where you can't lose. You can't fuck this up. You see, you often hear me bring up the focus on who you truly are. What's really inside of you. The I am, the I amness, the God of your reality. I tell you that over and over again because I want you to really saturate and marinate in that. You have a God within you right now. Whether you're a good person or a bad person, it's still there. However, when you discover manifesting, you start hearing all the ways that you can screw this up if you don't do this right. And we start taking on all of that as new beliefs and assumptions. And in most of these coaches' defense, I don't think they come from a malicious place, but what they are doing is creating more limitations for you. When you realize that you are sincerely limitless, you're in a state where you really believe you're limitless and that you can access and have and manifest anything you want because it's already yours. It already exists. You start to really believe that it is done. And if you entertain that thinking every single day, that's putting you in a state where you don't have to worry about messing up. You don't have to fear your thoughts. You really do feel powerful, and you really do think you're limitless. And therefore, 3D has to become that. It has to reflect your new state, your new beliefs. So one of the ways we get to our God state or the state of not having to fear is by consistently and persistently be still and know I am God. Do you hear that? Be still and know I am God. It's because you have God within you. You are the I am. You already are that. You are just used to thinking the complete opposite and separate from any type of higher being. No, you already are the I am. And when you remind yourself of that, hence why I say, marinate in who you are. All of your desires are already yours. You are not separate from them. Your belief in the illusion of the 3D that you are separate from them is what is keeping you separate from them. When you marinate and saturate your mind in the knowing you are God, you are knowing that you already are the I am, and everything you desire is already yours. You begin to truly believe that, and therefore you become that version of yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? When we sit and consistently think of our desires as separate things, separate entities, as if you're working to get them, as opposed to knowing they're already yours, you put yourself into a state of not having the desire. I know how simplistic that kind of sounds, but it's the key. That's how you shift your state. You remind yourself of the who you are, your God power. You put your focus on that. Sometimes it helps people to take a moment, maybe meditate on the I am-ness, telling yourself over and over and over and saturating your mind, telling yourself, I am the I am. Sometimes that is helpful. Sometimes just taking a moment for yourself, sitting alone and really just regrouping, calming down, shutting the 3D out and remembering who you are. It isn't a series of actions you have to take in order to get the state. It's all in the story you're telling. So you tell yourself that it's easy for you to maintain a more pleasurable state, or it's easy for you to believe that you are the I am and that nothing is separate from you and all of your desires are yours and will be always at your fingertips. There is nothing that can be kept away from you. Do you see the difference of trying to manifest your specific person as opposed to knowing they're already mine? That relationship is already created and everything starts with me. So if that's my desire, I know I can have it because I already have it. You'll often hear coaches talk about needing to love yourself. Self-love is important. It is. But when you tell yourself that you're in the state of the knowing that I am the I am, then you already know that love comes from you first. So there doesn't have to be this separate self-love workshop when it's already available to you right now. If this in any way seems complicated, I promise you it's not. Spend time really saturating your mind with the I am, with the knowledge of the who you are and what you have access to. You have access to any version of yourself that you desire. One of the things I tell you guys is ask yourself, what does it feel like to be that version? And some of you say, I don't know. I've never been that version. That's okay. What do you think it would feel like? It's okay to guess. It's okay to become the new you now. There is no level of perfection to hit. It's, for example, when states finally clicked with me, I was in the midst of solo vacation number 2. And what I realized was I was always seeing myself separate from my manifestation. And I never really saturated my mind with the who I am. So that was my first step, was consistently reminding myself that I am the I am. And I am already perfect and whole now. There is nothing more for me to fix about myself. And I know that I have the ability to access any state I desire right now. So, what is the version of myself that I want to be right now? What is that version? And in this moment, you're thinking separately, and I get it because I did too, but just hear me out. What does the version of me look and feel like if I had my manifestation? And I don't mean from when SP comes rolling back in and, says, let's get married, baby. No, I'm not talking about that moment. I'm talking about 3 or 4 months down the road from already manifesting that stuff back, or your ex back, or your, whoever you're manifesting. No, what does 3 or 4 months down the road version of you look like, feel like? Well, I would feel calm, cool, collected, nothing to worry about. I would know comfortably, for real, that my SP was head over heels in love with me and was always loyal and faithful to me, and that SP wanted to be in this relationship as much as I did. And for me, it was the feeling of being safe and secure and not abandoned and feeling good enough. So that version of me would feel good enough. That version of me would not fear abandonment. That version of me would have nothing to worry about, but could just enjoy the present moment of that relationship. And that relationship would look exactly like I dreamed. My SP would be, loving, plenty of attention and affection, whatever. Just because that's what my idea of how the relationship looks doesn't mean we don't have to have the same idea. You're allowed to have your specific person in your relationship look any way you want, because it's relative, right? Your desires are yours, mine are mine. So mine would look like we want to be with each other, both of us equally. I wanted to feel that. So that version of myself who had that manifestation 3 or 4 down the road would feel content, satisfied, satiated. So then I started practicing each day, trying to get into that feeling. And don't get hung up on worrying about feelings. I'm saying it's seeing yourself as that version. So what would that feel like to me? I would feel nothing to worry about. That's what I boiled it all down to. I would feel like I had nothing to worry about. So when I thought of myself, it all boiled down for me was that version of me would worry about nothing and would know everything's okay and everything always works out for me. And I would just have to think of something and it's mine. That's what that version of me would get to live life like. So I started practicing day by day, little by little. It wasn't perfect, by the way, but I would try to think of myself and see myself as that version. Meaning I carried myself around my 3D as best as possible as not worrying about manifesting him back. Was I perfect? Nope. Did I feel like that 24/7? Definitely no. Did I fall out of it a lot? Yup. Did I get triggered by the 3D? Most definitely. But I knew that that was okay. And that's why I bring up the fact how upset I was every single day. Not that I want you guys to be upset, but I'm saying that's your proof that when you do fall back out of the state, there's no reason to beat yourself up. There's no reason to start fearing what's going to show up out here. Because the more you saturate with your mind that there's nothing to worry about, you don't have to be perfect. You can still manifest whatever you desire because it's already yours. So if there's nothing to worry about, if I make the mistake of being triggered by my 3D, I don't have to worry about it. I can just pick myself back up and get back into a better mindset out of choice, meaning it feels better to not worry about anything. I prefer to feel that way. So I would go about my day living like that as best as possible. As best as possible. And I definitely don't put my life on hold. So I started baby stepping my way into that new version of myself, that new state. And because I was doing that, my 3D started to shift. Did I see instant movement with SP? I wouldn't call it instant. But did I see a change in his behavior within 24 to 48 hours? Yes. Now, that's not for you to compare your situations to mine. I'd been on a really long, annoying journey because I was always in a victim state. So if you don't get something in 24 to 48 hours, doesn't mean you're failing. Okay? But if you would every day, when you're starting to worry and see things out here as separate from you, if you would take a few minutes, remind yourself of who you are. Really, I close my eyes, I'm sorry, when I start talking about it, it's because that's what I do when I'm doing it. So I'm living it for you in this moment. I literally sit somewhere, my hands always go up here, and I really think about the who I am. I'm the I am. I'm the God of my reality. All of my desires that flow through my mind are really, really mine. And I really can have them. And I don't have to live the next 20, 30, 40, however we're alive years, the way I lived my previous. That's all over for me. I literally depending on where I'm at, those are the thoughts that run through my mind. I'm never going to have to live like that again. I'm never going to live that scared existence of losing the things I love, because no one can take love away from me, because I am the I am. I have God within me right now in this moment. And listen, I'm not trying to be hyper spiritual here. I can't stress this enough. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. Whatever you believe in. If you don't believe in anything, but you still believe in manifestation, use a phrase that makes you feel more comfortable. If you want to just call it your creation power, that's good too. But let me just say this. When you really think about what's inside of you, and what's promised to you, there's no desires that you're going to be denied. None. It's your state of believing that it's hard to manifest. It's hard for you to maintain a state. It's hard, long journey to get certain manifestations. Feels hard to manifest SP. SP's not changing. That is just your perception from the state you are in, and nothing more. So when it feels difficult, take a moment. Remember, you don't have to be hard on yourself, and saturate your mind with the who you are. Our desires are promised to us because they are coming from God. From God. Not the typical, what we've brought up to think of God. No, he's not Gandalf on the mountain. You shall not pass. That's not God. But we do have God within us. We have that creation power. It was given to us to experience our desires as we continue evolving until we evolve to that place of, I'm done. I'm here. I made it. I'm whatever it is to you. For me, it's, I don't know, graduating to the place of you instantly shift and manifest and, quantum leap. Whatever you think the journey of life is, you're going to keep evolving, and life is going to look the way you see it. I'm telling you, decide today that you don't have to worry about screwing up. You don't have to worry about mistakes. You cannot screw up your manifestation. Your manifestation was really promised to you. You have the power of God within you right now, or your higher self, higher being, creation power right now. Really saturate that in and see yourself as the version of yourself that already has your desires. It is that simple. It is literally deciding to be that version of yourself. Not fake acting and wearing rings on your fingers, leaving room in your bed. I don't mean any of that stuff. Unless you enjoy doing that, then feel free to do it all you would like. I don't. I'm too lazy for that. Okay? But what I do my best to walk around feeling. And when I say do my best, it's not that I'm, okay, get in proper state. No, Kimberly, when I wake up. No. I just listen to myself when I wake up. I listen. Because I wake up grumpy. And there's nothing giving me reasons to be grumpy. I just wake up that way. I've kind of always been that way. And I don't feel like changing it. But I listen. Do I really have a reason to be grumpy, or am I just being a bitch today? You're just being a bitch. Okay. Do I believe my desires are mine? Yep. Do I believe it's easy for me to have anything I desire? Yep. Do I believe I am the I am? Yes. Okay. So my grumpiness is just because I'm a grumpy bitch sometimes. Nothing more than that. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how stupidly simple it sounds like? Listen. If you feel that you have blocks or resistance to something, you are creating that as a state for yourself. You are holding yourself in the state of, I have resistance. I have blocks. When you daily tell yourself that you are the I am, you are the God of your reality, and it is easy for you to believe that you are the I am and that everything is already yours, and you tell yourself that every day, you will start to feel more natural when you're saying it. It will become easier for you to believe. If you don't believe right now, that's okay. This new state, this new version of yourself will feel natural. That's why I say, take the baby steps. If it feels too resistive for you to believe that you already are the version of yourself that has your desires because you're waiting for 3D proof, I understand that. And I don't judge you for that. I say, take the baby steps every day. Work on saturating your mind of the who you are. You're already loved enough. You're already chosen. That version of you is existing in this moment. To get to that version, to get to that state, is a conscious choice. And it may feel weird at first. It may feel uncomfortable. That's why I'm telling you, take the baby steps. It's like practicing working out. You're going to do it every day until it becomes so damn easy. You're not even thinking about it. You just wake up to it. Like me. Manifesting is not out of your range. It's not out of your reach. It's not something you need to do, the striving for perfection. It's at your fingertips now. The version of you that easily manifests, that easily always gets what he or she wants, is already alive and well in you now, in this moment. So every day, tell yourself you are the version of you that easily has all of her desires or his desires. Listen, the reason why I keep saying put your focus on your God state, put your focus on the I amness of reminding yourself of the power and that nothing can stop you. This is a state. That in itself is a state. Once you realize that it's as easy as just doing that, is just deciding you are that version that believes, that knows unconditionally that it's done, that your desires are yours. Once that happens, that's going to be the silliness of it all. The silliness is when you realize who you really are, meaning the I am. And it's okay if you fall back out of it. You fall back into a state where you're not sure if you believe or not, but you allow yourself to know and believe that it's okay if I have moments where I'm not believing. It's okay. It's okay if I have moments where I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to manifest certain things. But then we pick ourselves up and get back into a more beneficial place by at least thinking of the possibility. The minute you accept that you don't need to attain perfection to manifest, it's okay to tell yourself that shit's gonna be okay. That is the moment that you realize just how damn powerful you are. And that if you allow the states to come in without panicking, and you just work on, okay, why am I feeling the way I am? Why is this in the 3D bothering me? Let's break it down. Why do I feel this way? Oh, I'm just in a state and nothing more than that. Is when you start releasing obstacles and resistance. I'm telling you, take the baby steps every day of telling yourself you are already that version of yourself who has all your desires because you are the I am. I am the I am. I am the God of my reality. I am the God of my reality. And no matter what state I am in, I can easily manifest because I'm that powerful. You saying that in itself is a state. It's a state. Literal thinking coaches will tell you, you can't just say that and expect to be there and have things show up. And I'm telling you, yeah, you can. It's a state within itself. You're freeing yourself of obstacles. There's nothing to fear. Nothing to fear means easily holding a more beneficial state. Things start changing out there. I don't want you to ever feel that you must be perfect or you must maintain a perfect state in order to manifest. That is a state of fear. Where you put your focus is the state you are in. If you are consistently focused on, I must embody the God state, I must maintain this wonderful, beautiful state at all times, I must, then you are creating a state where you have to be that version of yourself in order to manifest, because you created that rule for yourself. Therefore, you created that state that you're in. It is as simple as saying, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to do anything. It is okay for me to feel natural and still always stay in my connection to God, the I amness, and I will still get all of my desires because they're already mine. That in itself is the beneficial state. You're releasing the grasps of anything outside of you simply by declaring that every day. Don't focus on what's not here yet because it already exists. It cannot be denied you. If you were consistently in a state where you don't have to worry about what's happening out there, that's when shit starts moving for real. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you didn't mind going down memory lane with me. And, I'll see you tomorrow.